Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Right on schedule. My goodness, it's getting harder and harder every week to get here on time. We got a quick show, short show today, and but it's important for us to meet, greet, and check on each other to make sure all is well. Um, I'm going to be spending a few minutes just setting up everything, so bear with me um, as we start the show. And on my co-hosts in the action. Let's see where they are. Oh my God, I don't see them. I don't see them. What's happening? But anyway, greetings to you. This is a special edition. It's my birthday edition. I will be turning a tender age of 47 years old this Saturday. It's also my daughter's birthday. I'd like to give her a special shout out to Sade. Her birthday will be tomorrow. Um, and also another shout out to my wife Maxine, where we will be celebrating our wedding anniversary on Sunday, the 24th. So we got the 22nd, 23rd, 24th on lock. And it's always the most exciting weekend of the year for us because we get to celebrate as a family. And so it's important we do this live just to let you all know what's going on. Of course, I'm having a small little thing at the restaurant if you're available to come. Uh, Please show up after 10 o'clock. We're going to have a little party. I've been massaging my feet all week. I've been fermenting my toes. I plan on dancing. And if I see you, I hope to dance with you. Unless you're a guy, of course. I'll dance with you. But we'll dance in the same area, But yes, it's going to be a fun time. Of course, we have some liquor sponsors coming in to get you all in the right vibration, you know, get y'all in the right spirit, no pun intended. So I look forward to seeing you all here. Once again, still waiting for my host before we start deep diving into the my brother MC Cornette is from Nigeria, logging in, checking in on us. We watch your show too as well from the US. We want to greet you and salute. Um, Thank you for watching. Thank you for the birthday shout out. We appreciate it. We're getting a little older, so every day you're alive, it's a blessing. It's you thank God for allowing you to see another year. Um, so we got our first beautiful shooting in on the live, Miss Donatella. Hey, Miss
Hello,
Donatella. Hold
hello.
on, let me put my mic, my headphones on.
Well, I'm being a rebel today, and I don't have earbuds,
It's fine. You are
and
fine,
I'm
girl.
outside
Everything
in
is cool.
traffic.
Everything is cool. So today, because we didn't have any time, me and Donatella are actually both at Amarachi, but we're giving you two different perspectives at one time. We're showing you the outside, and I'm on the inside. I don't think she's vaccinated, so I had to keep her
You know good well I'm don't do that.
Maybe we should have it in reverse. Let's switch places, right?
No, 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 no. I'm outside, and I'll flip my camera and show people. I'm. It's nice. I'm just wondering, anybody anywhere
Thank you,
around with
Serena.
Apple
Thank you. Thank you.
earbuds? Although I think that would make it
You
work.
don't need the earbuds. Don't worry about it. You're in a
Okay.
nice.
Well, you're such a soft-spoken giant. I've got my volume all the way up. Hopefully, I can hear
Well, I didn't want to talk too loud because I was the only one in on the live.
you. Okay.
But
Well,
I'll get louder as we get more animated.
send
So
me the
unfortunately, we only have like 50 minutes today. I am taking Miss Sade to go get her hair did it.
You
So
didn't what?
I said I'm taking Miss Sade to go get her hair did it.
That's what
Did
I
it.
thought you
Yeah,
said. To go get her hair did. I was like, wait, let me
yeah.
check.
So
Oh, that's awesome.
she's looking forward to this. So I don't want to disappoint her. So if the show extends, I'm sure Miss Dontel, you could carry it for us while I make my exit to to Miss
Well,
Sade.
right, and Sade is very important, so we want to be punctual. But I have to tell you that I love this show so much, and I love talking to you and our followers, and we have a guest on today. That I ran to the talk show that I was supposed to try to be on. I cannot think of her name. Rachel Ray.
Rachel Ray. No,
Yeah.
tell us about the Wendy you were on the Wendy Williams show yesterday. Tell
Oh
us
my
about
goodness.
that.
I should have sent you videos. Let me jump in the WhatsApp. I'm so excited. Um, what's interesting? Well, first, I last week they announced, unfortunately, that Wendy Williams was not going to be returning to the show for now. As you may know, she has COVID, and I understand that she probably has it pretty bad. Again, I I'm just going by what I think is circulating. I don't know her medical situation because of HIPAA laws. Nobody really knows, but she is not returning in studio presently,
That
and so
is
they did
crazy.
this big kind of search. Huh?
I said that's crazy.
What'd
I
you
didn't
say?
know it was that serious. I didn't know Wendy was that sick.
Yeah, and from what I understood, she was in the hospital. I don't know if she still is in the hospital, but the way that I know anything about it, although I love Wendy Williams as a brand, I do not watch the show every day. But last week there was a whole barrage of messages sent to me to support now being on the actual show. A lot of people. And so I went on the Wendy Williams page and I saw that they had these great people coming in to, hi, welcome, coming
Welcome,
in to
welcome.
be on her
Hi.
show. And it was super exciting. Let me stop for a second because you got all this beauty that just popped onto the
I'm telling
screen.
you, I'm
I
a
feel
lucky
like
guy,
we need to
boy.
introduce our
Bub
guest.
knows I'm extra. I gotta push the envelope.
I love it. I love it. I mean, the likes and the ratings are just going up higher and higher, higher and higher. So welcome, Miss Alex Mondesir,
So, for
who,
me,
Thank you.
yes, she is a very big fan of and supporter of Amarachi, and she's also a content creator and a publicist. I like to proudly call her our publicist because she always makes Amarachi look good and she always brings great new opportunities for Amarachi. And you know what I really love about Alex is everything she brings to us is really community based. It always has a philanthropic side to it. There's always some kind of give back. There's always something involving the community that she always brings to us. And so she understands, she gets it why we are who we are and what we do. And, we want to welcome her into our online family to
Thank you.
let them know behind the scenes another person that works diligently to make us look good. So,
Am I
with you
am I
and
able to
Donna,
be heard?
absolutely you're being heard.
Oh, okay, cool. I see the
You
buttons.
are.
I've never used this. It's
Yeah,
kind of cool though. I've never
it's
used this
very,
thing, so
very
it's fun.
simple, very cool, very, very, very simple. Donatella, you look frozen there.
going to have to. Am I going in and
Yeah, you're going in and out. Maybe
Yeah.
you should come. You
yeah?
should connect to the Wi-Fi.
I have a very
So we were talking about the Wendy
I
Williams
really
show
feel
and
that.
Wendy
Yeah, I am
being
connected.
sick. Do you know a little bit about that, Alex?
Yeah, she's alright. She has like the lymphedema, but she's been off and on sick, and then they delayed the show. And then it's like, from what I hear, Nick Cannon's supposed to take over her slot in the daytime.
Wow. Okay.
So I
They
don't
No,
go. They
know.
go. They go.
no.
Okay.
Nick Cannon has Nick Cannon has his own show that's airing, but they have stand-in hosts. So this week it was Leah and Michelle.
Yeah, and she was horrible.
Which
who's
person
who's
was
Leah?
horrible?
Who's
Leah
Leah?
Remini.
Oh,
Leah
okay.
Remini.
Yeah,
Oh, I loved her.
she was horrible. I thought she was horrible. Yes, but they are considering Nick Cannon as her backup.
So tell me real quick, what
Oh,
did you like about her,
I
Donatella,
about her.
and
There's
Alex? I want to know
this.
what you did at this. Like, I love having this freaking frack. I love having difference of
I'm just sharing it
opinions.
to all my feeds, so I get 1,000 pages.
Absolutely, let's do it. Yeah, it
Okay.
takes a while to boot up, but it's coming. I haven't even shared it on my page yet, but it's coming out. Donatella, tell us what you liked about Leah.
Do you have music on inside?
No, no, no. You
So,
can come inside.
woo,
I mean, it's
hold on.
on, but
I'm
it's
gonna
very
try
low.
to maybe come inside.
Okay.
Can you hear
So,
me? Okay.
Alex, yeah, we hear you
Mhm.
fine.
Let me try to move to where it's better.
Normally, I love Halia. She's normally
Huh?
like really awesome, but I just didn't like her for that. I don't think everybody can do what Wendy does. And
Okay.
Wendy is one thing I love Wendy. Wendy's one of my idols. She's one of the people that I kind of tailor myself after. A lot of people hate her, but I love her because I understand her purpose. And she understands her purpose. So to even though she's kind of made herself a little bit more mainstream and more digestible to the masses, she's still Wendy. And everybody doesn't have that Wendy je ne sais quoi. Like everybody, she's still her. She's a villain. Leah Ramini is not. She's cool or whatever, but she can't hold that audience for me. It's a completely different show, in my opinion, when it's not Wendy.
Got it. Got it. Got it. I haven't watched these shows in quite a while, so I
Ooh, we
wouldn't
got
be able to tell you.
112 people looking at us from at the same time.
Yeah. Hey, where are we at? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking at y'all through Facebook. Okay, here we go. All right, let's go. Let's get back to the
Hmm.
to the to the to the to the to the festivities. So another thing I wanted to talk about real quick while Donatella is getting her feed together is tell us about the Halloween party that you're having in Amarachi next week.
Yes. So, Saturday, October 30th at Amarachi, I decided I wanted to do heroes versus villains. Outside of the fact that I'm a super like Marvel girl, even though Batman is my soft spot, but I really love a lot of villains more than I do heroes. And I feel like the
Mm,
past year with the pandemic and all the misinformation and confusion and the depression, whatever, I feel like right now the lines are very much so blurred between who are the heroes versus the villains, even with the past election, right? And the
yes,
former administration. You don't know
absolutely.
who is it. I feel like it's subject to your interpretation, and I think that role changes depending on what you're doing and when it's taking place. So, heroes versus villains. Actually, I created right before this broadcast a special $10 ticket, advanced ticket on Eventbrite. I will drop the link in the comments, and it's available to everybody that's viewing this. $10 admission. We will be having like a special spooky menu, different treats, shot roulette, lots of different games, and I want you guys to have like fun with it. But without a costume, we're doing $20. And we have a VIP package for about $40, and it'll get like an appetizer and a drink with your
That's pretty.
admission.
That's very cool. That is very cool. Yes, if you have any links or anything, so you could send over to me. I appreciate it. I'll
Yes, I
definitely put it up
will.
on the chat. It's okay. We got Donatella. We back. Yeah, it's a very wonderful,
So
festive time of the year.
I
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my God.
I
Everybody wants to
apologize.
come
Yeah.
when I'm doing something. Hold
So
on.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, I can hear you. Let's go.
Okay. So I heard the beginning of what she was saying in terms of why she doesn't like Leah
Yeah,
for the show. And one thing I think seeing the show in person that they wanted to establish, in my opinion, was that the hosts that have been chosen. So I think there's a group of hosts for the next 4 weeks, and they're trying to find the perfect fit. And since there is no replacement for Wendy, right, and especially if I was someone that really looked up to her, I would basically say no matter who they brought in, it's not going to work because that person cannot
So,
fill her shoes. You know what I mean? She's huge, and that's why I wanted to go to the show. more about the brand that she has. Like if I could get my brand to the tenth of her success, it would just be phenomenal. But what I liked about the show was that number one, they didn't have just one host. I think for one person to try and take on the show in terms of filling that gap, that's too much pressure for one person. Having two people and their natural interaction, because I didn't know who the hosts were before I went to the show. I heard the name, but I didn't place it. So Leah Remini is the wife off of King of Queens. That show is on forever. For me, I thoroughly enjoyed the show, but I watched it with the perspective of not comparing it to Wendy, because if you compare it to Wendy, then it's totally different. But their on-air personality, I was surprised that she was so rude at the hostess. Huh?
What do you mean
But
she
she's
was rude?
definitely rude. I like that about her. I like her as
Yeah,
a person. I just don't
I
like her for
loved
that.
it. I would have to say, I think they're from Jersey and they're Italian.
Yeah.
Literally every old school rap song that they played during the breaks, they both were singing the lyrics. Um, she gave an example and she prefaced it with, "Don't tweet me, don't Insta me, don't send me a DM. I'm telling you what I'm about to say is wrong." They were talking about parenting and how some parents tell their children they should react when being bullied. And so Michelle, who says she doesn't condone violence at all, said that to her child, thank you, her recommendation is, as long as she lets the individual who is bullying her know that she's aware of it and it's not cool, she's happy with that. That was Michelle's advice for her children. She doesn't want to promote violence. Whereas Leah said, well, I'm going to tell you what I would do. And they both said that when they were children, they got bullied a lot and they didn't have parents to stand up for them. Leah stood up in her white pantsuit and she said, I told my daughter to lean over like this and grab the girl by the back of her head while taking her fist and drill
I
her
agree. I
in the
completely agree.
face.
I also didn't have that as well. Like I used to get into fights, but I would have to hide that I got into a fight. So even if whether I won or lost, it could not be known. And one time I beat this girl up, right? And I'm like, okay, I beat you up, whatever. That's all. I'm going home. This girl
Thank
goes
you.
to Dunkin' Donuts. She buys a dozen donuts and she comes and rings my doorbell like, I'm so sorry. I was very with a dozen donuts. I got my ass whooped. But and I was bullied a lot because I was just quiet. I didn't bother nobody, but I internalized a lot of it. I agree with hitting kids, especially these kids nowadays. You gotta.
Well, I can't. Listen, y'all ain't got no kids, so ACS can't come for y'all. So I
Yeah,
can't say
I don't have any kids. That's very
ACS,
true.
they
ACS.
low key holding you accountable for a lot of stuff. Like this will pop up in a couple of years when my kid is
I
in
listen.
trouble.
I threaten the shit
But
out of my kids, but I don't.
one point she made is that you can't talk to the average bully. The average bully now, there's no talking to them. You have to show them action. We're not talking about cyberbullying,
No,
and
Hmm.
she
no,
showed a
no.
picture of her daughter
I
who's,
do agree, Donatella. My kid.
I
Sometimes,
feel like I have to leave our thing because I can't hear you guys, and I don't want to be talking over
Really,
you.
and I hear you so clear.
we hear you so
Yeah.
clearly.
Well, I should say
Oh,
it
you
this
need
way.
your
I hear
headsets.
you,
You
but
need your
it's super,
headsets.
Oh, you're
super,
not getting it
it's
said
super,
into your
super
ear.
low. And I'm
Oh.
gonna be looking like this in
How
the
how how,
video.
how can listen? Do you have like a headphone jack or anything?
Yeah, like I have no idea what Bub is saying.
Do you have a headphone jack?
You look cute though. That's always a bonus.
she
At
said.
least you look good.
She said I have no idea what Mom said. So real quick, I just want to show
Yeah, let me get that
the
second.
flyer for next week. Let me just uh let me just pull that up so people can see what we're looking at. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look. So there it goes. Heroes versus villains.
Yes, you are.
Halloween ball. You got my favorite characters right there. Make sure it's an Uber night, of course. We're going to be drinking a whole lot of spirits. Amarachi, XMC, October 30th. Doors open at 9. Really, that's 10 o'clock, but we say 9 because, we know black people time. Um, and about this event, okay, there you go. You even have a virtual component. I didn't know that. So if you can't make it to the Amarachi, you can go virtual. And then I guess we'll do some kind of live broadcast. Alex. So we got prizes for costume and all of that good. So good stuff. But anyway, that's for next Saturday. So stay tuned, and we get back to the show.
Well, I have no idea what's going on. You know what? Maybe I'll log in.
Am I back? Okay, I'm back.
What happened, Alex? How did you get off? I was showing the feed.
I did. Listen, I have my laptop over here, and then I have another phone. So I was trying to pull up the link to put it in the comments, and when I just swiped away, the whole thing disappeared. So I'm not going to touch anything else. When I reshare it, I'll just put the link with it.
If you go missing again, I'll find you. Have no worries. Donatella, I think you need to. Why don't you go inside the car and put the car audio on, Donatella?
That might could be a thing.
Donatella, car audio.
I think she's just tuned us out.
She cannot hear us. Let me write it. Let me put it in the chat. Use your car audio.
I feel like I need to go to your Facebook page and watch the show.
No, Donna. I say use your car audio. Can you hear me? Look at the comments.
I can't hear what he's saying.
Okay, Alex, go ahead and talk to the people. Let me go talk to her. Let me go find her real quick.
Okay.
Actually, no need. I'll.
Well,
can you tell Donatella to use her car audio to go in the car?
Yeah, why can't you guys just share a space? I would love to tackle the Dave Chappelle controversy.
Please, let's go. Let's dig right in.
Have you guys watched the special?
I started watching it and I fell asleep. So that's just it has nothing to do. Listen, me falling asleep has absolutely nothing to do with how good or bad. No, it has nothing to do with how good or bad a feature is. It has everything to do with my sleep apnea and my narcolepsy. So
I got you. I really did.
If the police come, I'm gonna get a ticket sitting in my car with a drink.
Oh no, we got authorities involved.
Things we do.
Then don't drink, Donatella.
I think it wasn't necessarily his funniest. I wasn't butt gusting laughing, but there were chuckle-worthy moments. However, I did appreciate the message and the content, and I agree. I have many friends and family within that community, but we can all agree that there are sometimes things that go a little bit too far. And he's right. There is an underlying jealousy because of how they move, but it's almost like there's no empathy or compassion outside of their community. We have a tendency to empathize.
I need you to elaborate on that. And you listen, you can't get in trouble with you cannot get in trouble with that committee because you're very supportive of that community. So but you can expand on
a story I recently shared, right? There's a woman on Twitter, and she was talking about she was bullied by the trans community because she misgendered her rapist. I am a rape victim.
That's crazy.
And because this person now wants to be a woman, I screw my pain, but because I misgendered them? Is that okay?
When you say you misgendered, that means she called the person a he when the person has now turned into a she?
I think, I believe so, yeah. And it's I don't care about your pronouns. You violated me, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Why do I have to now? I have to empathize with you because of what you want to be called when you completely violated my body, my mental. You killed me. You made me a walking, living, dead person, and you don't care about that. You care that I just respect your gang.
Now, another question that I have for you: what does cis mean? I've seen it before, and I don't quite understand the CIS. What does cis mean?
Well, this is because they don't want. So instead of saying biological, this is their term for it because biological is offensive.
Really? So a biological male, they
It's a
rather
cis.
so cis is they've created a derogatory word in their community for people that are biologically one way. Is that what I'm getting?
It's as simple as I mean, yeah, but I think it's a little bit more. It's like
Is it a way to
if you
differentiate?
decide that you want to identify with what the sex you were born with, you're
Yeah.
cisgender.
Okay.
They don't use the word biological because if you're
Okay.
born with a penis and you want to identify as a woman, to call them a biological male would be offensive.
To
So they,
themselves.
yeah,
So they've invented cis um to put us down, basically, for lack of a better word, to put people like
yeah, but
me
they don't.
down.
That's the thing. They don't see the other side of it. I guess
I,
they feel like we're
Go
the
ahead,
white
how is
people
it
Donzel.
of
putting
sexuality. I don't know.
Go ahead, Donna.
how is it putting you down and not just differentiating the difference between the two?
Why create a whole nother word? That's the whole point. Like
But well, the same reason, in my opinion, right? And I'm speaking as a heterosexual female, ooh, male, a
male.
heterosexual
You're a
female who,
heterosexual male. Okay, let me find
She's
out.
right?
in the queue.
I'm speaking
Let me
as
find
a
out.
yeah, I'm a heterosexual female who knows nothing about the politically correct terminology. So I want to preface it with that. But I
No,
think
that's why I
it's
was asking.
important, huh?
That's why I was asking. That's why I brought it
No,
up.
but yeah, but what I'm saying is I think it's important to be able to establish the difference. Whatever words the community picks that they're comfortable with, that part doesn't really matter to me. But for myself, your music just went up
Yeah,
really
somebody's
loud.
music is coming in.
But
Sorry.
That becomes very, very
yeah.
slippery.
No, so for me, I need to know, and I feel it's important if I'm going to be talking to people that I have the correct verbiage, but I need to know when someone hits on me, you know, I need to know the difference between them identifying and them being. I'm comfortable in saying, and this may hurt some people's feelings because there seems to be a lot going on. I am particularly only interested in people who are born with a specific gender, in terms of having a relationship.
And then that makes you transphobic because guess what? There are
That makes
lesbians
me what?
now that make
Transphobic?
you transphobic according to them because that's not the definition of anything phobic that I grew up on. So I'm just saying according to them, but it's to the point where so I don't know if you heard there's a movement called Drop the T. The LGB wants to separate from the T because even they feel like it's getting ridiculous because there's like let's say lesbians, right? Lesbians are attracted to other women. However, there's a group of trans that are actively harassing lesbians because they feel like they are discriminating against women
Them.
that are have penises, even though they're not attracted to penises. They're it's just it's too much, and it's a slippery slope. I say that because then if people are just allowed to create their own subgroups and then eventually wipe out or overpower I guess the majority, and I hate conversations like this because you could easily slip into the territory of sounding like a bigot,
Rate?
but it's just like you hit a brick
Well,
wall because it's like every
but that's gonna happen. As long as there is freedom of speech and there is freedom of modification, you're always going to have something different. I remember one day when I looked on when Facebook first sent out the update that you could go in and identify as something else. I was totally amazed at the amount of choices that were available. And then, during the pandemic, I'm no longer working in corporate America, but I got an update from my LinkedIn introducing the use of pronouns and the importance of me being able to identify what pronouns are appropriate for me to have conversations with people. And I realized that when it comes to sexuality, I need to go back to um, sex ed class because the sex ed class that I had in the sixth, seventh, and eighth grade no longer exists. It's obsolete.
I'm sorry, I keep messing up. And you're
Don't
right,
That's
worry.
sex ed is very outdated because it's a whole
yeah.
new thing, and you know what? That's okay. The problem is you within I'm 36. These a lot of these things have happened within the past few years, not even a full 10 years. If maybe past 5 years, a lot of these things have come up, and
Was
it's
it
like,
I
the
feel
what do
like
you
in the
mean?
past
was
two.
it
I feel like
was
in the
it the
past two
crying
years,
game? The
a
crying
lot of
game was really my first introduction to, I think, the trans um,
What?
topic, right?
No,
The
I
crying
was
game wasn't that?
I don't think that wasn't an introduction to the transgender.
Yeah,
Well,
that
it was.
I was at my school. I went to Edward R. Murrow in Brooklyn, and Murrow was famous for having one of the very first. It was the Rainbow Club. It was very LGBT tolerant until they did the Harvey Milk School in the Village. So I trust me, we grew up around it. It was no issue. It's the advancements within the past few years with the pronouns and stuff like that and the different terms. These are things like okay, it's I don't mind learning, but if you just introduce me to a concept today, don't snap at me because I don't get it tomorrow. You're not going to reach the whole world in a year or two. So there's like a patience that they don't seem to have with other people, but want everyone to have with them. And then it becomes an us and then, and it becomes confusing because on the flip side, okay, if you're a trans women are women. That's it, right? According to them. But then
Yeah.
the minute that they want to embarrass somebody, then it's like, oh, but you're with me. So are you a woman or are you not? Because how can you have it both ways?
Yeah, the whole thing is just confusing for me, and I think their sensitivity may be doing them a little bit of disservice because I think for most part, yes, my views from when, like I said, from the time of the crying game, my views from then till now has definitely matured. As kids, it was definitely foreign to us, and we definitely, felt a certain way about it. And I'm not afraid to say that, but we've matured. We hire, gay, lesbian, trans. We have these people in our lives, in our daily lives, and I don't see myself discriminating or treating them any less of a human than anyone else. But it's hard to get into a conversation. You're almost afraid to get into a conversation, a meaningful conversation about it, because if you say the wrong thing, it's you about to get holy hell fire
Yeah.
Well,
descend on
no,
you.
it's the cancel culture.
You about to get
You know,
canceled.
I won't.
So
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
especially from a business owner's perspective. So I just completely online, or if you're not in my immediate circle, I completely stay away from even such conversations, because people that don't know you will start telling you how you feel and what you're doing and what you're not doing, and
Yeah.
the whole
They'll
and
instantly know
they'll
your
wreck
whole
your
life.
business, and they'll wreck your business.
Mhm.
Well,
So
I will have to tell you, I understand a lot of the movement. I think the problem with a lot of people is not so much accepting all the newness, but being accepting of the how fast the advancement is happening for that particular community. So one
Yeah, there's
of the
definitely an
things that I
underlying
see,
issue.
well, yeah, so one of the things that I see trending a lot on social media is the power that community has, the ability to quickly pass laws. I remember several years ago when one of the first individuals in Brooklyn was attacked, right? And I would say I'm careful about the words I choose because I know the incident and the person wasn't initially attacked, but the a I guess a I guess it was a gay male hit on several non-gay young adults in Brownsville and aggressively, and those young adults happened to be of Caribbean descent. And when the young adults rejected the advancements of the other person and the person proceeded, a physical altercation happened. And during that physical altercation, the young adults used vernacular that was offensive. And it's one of those original cases that resulted in the hate crime bill law that we now have, where if your act of violence can be deemed a hate crime, you're talking about 25 years to life. And so those young Caribbean boys got a lot of time in jail because while they were fighting this individual, they were saying things specific to the individual's sexuality. And so now move forward to 2021, and you look at the ability for people within that community to be married. You instantly get health benefits. You don't even have to be married. I remember when I started working for my previous law firm, I was dating someone who had an accident and they were paralyzed. And I wanted to get them covered under my health insurance. And we've been dating for a while. And they were like, absolutely not. Person has to live with you. You have to be married, all these things. But I found out that if I had a same-sex girlfriend, I could have
Put on
instantly
on
put
the
them on
insurance. Yeah.
my benefits at work, and that person would have every right that I had
And
You know, that's a
instantaneously.
silent movement right now too, with women that are not necessarily lesbians, but they are actually marrying other women, like best friends or whatever, just for
wow,
those legal stability, and they date men
that
and they
is
lead their
that is
lives.
Yep,
amazing. That
yep,
is amazing.
yep. That
What's
that started a long time, and I'll tell you what's not so funny. I was talking to some of my girlfriends back then, and I was like, and I had a really good job, and some of them did not. And I was like, you know, if I put you down and say you're my girlfriend, I don't even have to prove that you live with me. Like there's so much sensitivity, and I associate it with, and it's gonna sound bad, but a vast majority of people in high levels, ever since Governor McGreevey came out, are in the LGBTQ community. And I feel like once Governor McGreevey came out, for me, that's when I just saw everybody coming out, and I saw laws changing, and they're powerful people. You can't mess with them. And they have one thing in that community that we lack in our black community, and that's unity. I
yes,
don't
that
care if
Yep.
they like you or not. You do something to
they
them, they're
they
all
they
coming out.
rally around each
Yeah.
other, and that's
And it
another
doesn't
thing.
matter right, wrong, or indifferent. They're
I
definitely going to be there.
I know a lot of people in the conscious community. One of the reasons they hate Barack Obama so much is they feel that he put
He,
um, their
them
agenda
before us.
ahead of the black agenda,
Mhm.
and they have all these things just similar to what you're saying, and black folk got nothing, you know. So it's a very interesting topic, but I don't want to spend the whole day um,
Uh-huh.
talking about. Why you wink your nose like that, Donna?
Well, because I have a brand that I am building. I
Yes.
have relationships that I'm fostering, and I'm very uneducated about the latest advancements in that community. And
And I feel like
for
we're
me,
always going to be learning, though. I feel like
I
we're always going to be
yes,
learning, and
well,
it's always going to be evolving.
I think
but
what we
there's
should do is
active
bring
learning.
someone on that is an
Yeah,
actual transsexual. I think we should bring someone on and have a talk with them, an open and
of
honest
course.
conversation. So if you all know anyone that would love to come on the show and talk about it, we're certainly mature enough
I
to have
got a
that
gang.
conversation. We
I got a
welcome
whole
it.
gang for you, Bub.
I know you do with all them damn rings in your mouth. I love Alex. She listen. Alex is down for anything, man. God bless Ernie, boy. He's a trooper.
Yes, yes.
I saw you had one picture on your Facebook, and it was like y'all were posing, and you
Mhm.
had blood all over your face, and you were like,
Yeah,
you were like in somebody's
it's
another
actually
woman's
about to come
crotch.
up in, yeah,
Oh my
it's gonna come up
God,
in my memories. That was Halloween last
it
year.
was
So we
terrible.
did like this amazing menstruation shoot, and it was just like
Yes,
vampiric, and it was nasty, like it was fake blood.
it
It
was.
was
Yo,
I'm gonna
Donatello, you
see it
got to see
soon.
it. It is crazy.
It's
It's
coming
crazy.
soon. It's in my memory.
She had a buffet on her, like all you can eat.
Listen, Ernest, the one that shot it. Okay,
I'm
so
sure he. That's what I said. God bless him. I'm sure it was probably his damn idea. Knowing him,
it was fun though.
but
Gotta live, right? But that's the thing. Like you can
so
make
Well,
fun. You can
that's
have
yeah.
Anything.
that's one thing I will agree with you on, and something in the last 2 weeks that I said you have to do. You have to live. And each person knows what makes them the happiest, what gives them enrichment in their life, and whatever that is, as long as it's, in my opinion, not detrimental to another person, I think everybody should pursue their happiness. Because I just looked
Agree.
today, in the last couple of days, the amount of people I'm starting to see these SIPs and RIPs
Yeah.
come down my Instagram again, and if you pay attention, this is the same time last year
Yeah,
when
that
that
starts
string
cranking
of
back up.
people getting COVID and people dying, it starts toward the end of the summer, setting the stage for us to kind of be inside ish for the
Yes,
winter.
and we have to pay attention to this new moniker they're calling Black Winter, Dark Winter. They're trying to
Oh, I've never
normalize
heard
this
that.
saying. Oh yes, and they start to
Yeah, I
say
haven't
every
heard that
time.
either.
Just pay attention for Dark Winter. Dark
I mean,
Winter.
that sounds sexy
They're
to
gonna
me.
start using it a lot, and basically what they're predicting, there's going to be a time where we're gonna lose power for a few days. So
Mm.
you're gonna
Wait,
you talk.
in America?
Oh yes.
Right? Like, are you
Oh
sure we're
yes.
talking about the United States?
Oh
I
yes.
But you know what?
encountered that
Anything's
in
possible.
Oh
I
yes.
encountered that in Lagos, and
No.
that is, wait, no, we've got to
Well,
talk about
but
that because
the difference will be most of us don't have generators. You see, so we're
so my
talking.
parents just bought a generator.
So check this out.
My
Just imagine this, right? New York City, we've laid off all these people. Money is becoming an issue, right? Supplies are draining low. Then the lights go out. What do you think is going to happen?
Oh, all kinds of.
The
Well, we know
Hunger
what's gonna
Games.
happen. What happened?
Thank you. Thank
The
you.
Hunger
Yeah.
Games.
They're gonna start looting, and then National Guard is gonna be called.
But
People
that's a
gonna die.
preset. No, that's
So
a preset
just pay
to
attention.
what's it called? What's a preset to what's it called when the military takes over?
Martial law.
Um, Martial law.
Yeah.
So here's the other thing.
I think people
This
want
is
martial
why I
law.
think.
I think people are silently begging
I
for it,
think
to be honest.
that's why I said just pay attention.
Well,
They
the
put these
red
things
side.
into the universe and it happens. They just miraculously
Okay, so
it's
first
gonna
of
happen.
all, dark winter or whatever they call it, right?
Yes.
Um, here's why that's going to be super horrible, right? First of all, we should do the research and see how many of these elevator residential buildings
Oh my
actually have
God.
generators. That's the
Exactly.
first thing. So if this happens, I want to make sure I'm in one of the taller luxury buildings up towards the top residing.
So you
So when
can't
the
get down
elevator
though.
stops,
Yeah, I wouldn't want to
oh,
be in one of
I don't want
those.
to be up there.
Yeah.
no. So here, no. Coming down is not a problem. I'm worried about everybody who breaks in at the bottom trying to come up, right?
Mm.
And this is just for me. I've been in a building where the elevator stopped working for a couple of times or it's minimized. What I think is going to be, and this is why I don't think that can happen. There are far too many corporate buildings. There are far too many residential buildings with elevators. If we went dark for more than a day, right? Think about the longest. What happened back in that big blackout
Yeah,
in like
it
the
was
80s and
no, it was the 90s.
90s?
It was 2000. I
It
was
was
back in New York.
2003.
It was 2003. It was
I
like
was at
hell
the
on earth.
beach.
So
It was
yeah, so that was the last one. When that happened, I had a basement of what they call a step up, a step down basement apartment. I had just really come to New York. It's my first apartment, and it was in a private house. And when that blackout came, I had bars on my windows and like a foyer that left to my apartment. I called one of my friends from Pitkin Avenue, and
oh
I
my
said,
god.
"Hey, come to my house and sit with me." Because as a female, it was scary, but I always have candles. It was sexy for a little while,
It was
but
hot that night. I wouldn't.
It was
It was
very,
hot. I
very
was
hot.
hot.
It was
I
August,
was
if I'm
so
not
well, I was
mistaken.
aggravated. Yeah, I was
yeah,
aggravated.
people were outside, but I mean, just being inside with no lights, you light the candles, and then you're fine. and then the sun up and you're okay. But I remember as a child, being in Alabama, we had no electricity for like a week, and it was my brother, myself, and my mom. And I remember my brother and I thought it was cute. I might have been in sixth grade. My mother was scrambling eggs in the fireplace with the cast iron skillet, and we were huddled up in blankets. But nowadays, yeah, I don't know that people can survive like
I
that.
think, but you know what? Last year, if I'm not mistaken, they take certain neighborhoods, and that was a really big thing because they basically decided which neighborhoods they thought were expendable and not, and they took certain neighborhoods off the grid with electricity. I think even if it is going to be a dark winter, it's pretty much going to be something like that. Like where I am, it didn't touch us, but I know Brooklyn and Queens got hit bad.
Yeah.
And then that, if there is a dark winter, quote unquote, like you're gonna really see like the tide change because people are already at the brink and desperate. The government is broke. Everybody's broke. Like
But
we're hanging on to the hinges.
but I will advise you. See, I tried to order 5 cases of water from our distributor.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how many came in?
2?
0.
Oh
So
wow!
there's already a shortage, people. This is
There's
what I'm trying to
definitely
say.
But that's
the
that's a
supermarkets over
result
here are
of
really
So
good.
I'm just saying this to say you
no.
need to. If you see something that you think you need, just pick it up and store it.
I'm just
For
letting
just in
people
Well,
know
case.
that I'm not going to go vegan during the apocalypse.
Oh boy.
Whatever happens, happens.
yeah. No, but that has a lot to do with the supply chain that's happening now. The
No, I
shortage
don't. I know.
of truck drivers, but also I'm talking to some of my friends who have kids, and I'm saying, hey, are you paying attention? If you want to give your kids anything, you need to order it from now. I saw this small business owner in New Jersey who has a bike shop, and he has tricycles and bicycles for kids back
Mhm.
ordered from a year ago.
Yeah, I
A
try to
year
order
ago,
some. So
they're
I
gonna
try to
start
order
running
some.
out of. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I try to order some equipment for the sound system. Unavailable. I ordered it and they canceled my order 2 days ago. Refund my money. The same thing happened.
Yeah.
I ordered the
I,
360 camera. So to
Mm,
have fun with at
yep.
the restaurant, the first company canceled. After I spoke to
Yep.
you, Alex, they canceled it. So I had to
really?
reorder. Yeah, I had to reorder it from another company
Yeah.
and get on the phone and make sure that it's something that's actually on the ground in the U.S. Because,
In
like you
inventory.
said, if you gotta wait for it from another country, good luck.
Yeah.
So we're
Oh,
hoping. So they told
travel.
me they said it's
Yeah.
not in the U.S. but it's air freight. So they're guaranteeing that it's gonna be here, but we'll see. But things are is a mess right now.
Yeah.
So
Los
I'm
Is
just
it
saying
a
that
in
turkey shortage
California.
too? So
yes, if
Thanksgiving.
you're out shopping and you can afford to get something and store it away, get it
Yep. Get
because
it now.
you never know when this thing's gonna drop if it drops at all. We
I'm gonna
hope it
tell you
never
when
does.
it's going. I'm gonna tell you when it's gonna get real ugly. There is a shortage on frontals, on HD wigs. No, real talk. It is very hard to get a 5x5 or a 7x7 frontal, and
Oh no,
when
you got to start something.
when we went,
She about
yes,
to
when
start.
we
She about to
women
start
can,
pandemic all on its own.
Listen,
no,
we're just gonna have to
it's a
take it
fact.
there. We got all kind of
Yeah,
daggers, bows and arrows, swords in here. I'm ready. I think I prepared
well,
for this for a long time.
It might drop
yeah,
out. It
and
might drop
that's
Halloween.
well,
Then we'll definitely be the
the
purge.
yeah, the sad part is that's the other part. We now versus 2003 and 2021. I think there are a lot more people who have firearms didn't have firearms before. We're in a time where
There
people,
are, but you know
I don't
what?
want to
There's a
say
shortage on ammunition.
trigger happy.
Well,
There's an
not
Yeah,
just
so
a
ammunition
that's the
short.
other
shortage.
thing.
And there
Yeah,
was a time they weren't selling to black people. Remember that too.
Yeah, so you
The
you gotta
ammo
really
dealers weren't
know.
selling. Yeah, they weren't
You gotta
selling it
really
to
want
black
to
folks.
shoot, and you gotta really at least lay whatever you're shooting at down
And
because you
this is
can't afford
going
to
back
waste
a
the
few
bullets.
years during the Trump presidency. I know that for a fact.
Hmm.
yeah, I
When
do
ammo
too.
was short, they weren't selling to black folks because they
There's a
literally
nice.
thought they were going to be in war with us. They
If you
literally were
have
thinking.
the time, I definitely recommend it's Black Gun Club on Facebook. It's an amazing group, has great resources, safety protection classes, keeps you up to date on what's in stock and what's not. Definitely recommend.
And you know, and
Listen.
I
I
have never tried to get a gun because I have a bad temper. I
Me too.
already
Yo,
shot
that's
one
the
of my
same
brothers when I
exact
was in
thing.
college.
Me and my wife used to fight all the time over it because she's with it. She's ready to shoot and kill
I
everything
know.
in
I be
sight,
at the
right?
range.
And
I love it.
I'm like, Max, please don't, because I can't have a gun. She's like, why not? I said, because I'm gonna kill people. Like
Yeah.
you know, I said, there's no way I have a gun and I'm not gonna shoot somebody. I said, as
Yeah, no,
crazy as stupid as people
and
are,
to be
I'm gonna
yeah.
kill somebody. So I'm like, I don't
No,
need
and
one.
to
I
be
don't want
clear,
one.
I've yeah, I've been to ranges. When I was in college,
I'm
someone that
shooting
I was
somebody in
really
the
in
car,
love
Donna.
with.
These New York
What?
drivers, they're the first one to get it in the ass. These New York
You know
drivers,
what?
the
Well,
first ones.
well,
As a
it's not an
non-driver,
open carry period. You won't be
you guys
carrying
are
your gun
always like,
in the car.
"Oh,
Those
you
guys,
gotta learn how to drive. You gotta learn how to drive." But you guys
those
seem
guys
like
and the
some of the most
bikers.
miserable people on the road when you're driving and cursing people out. Like it makes you not want to drive.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh no, but I love it,
It's
and I
very
have a
frustrating.
6 speed.
Very, very,
I
very frustrating.
I love it. I have a 6 speed. I put on my Jesus music and I say a prayer and I
Really,
will
you
curse
be
you out and then go back to
riding
my
out the
Kurt Franklin.
gospel.
Absolutely.
You see,
What?
I naturally drive slow, so
She's a
like
goon for Jesus.
I always get people honking me, like
Yes,
I'm going
girl.
too slow, and I'm like, yo, where am I going? There's a red light like 100 feet up there. I'm cruising into it. I'm not the kind of person that sees a red light that's gonna speed up and then slow down. No, I'm a cruise. People always honking me all
Yeah.
the time.
I can't lie. I've been learning a lot on the road recently and watching people and how they do it. And it's like that is one thing that does irk me. And I notice a few people doing it and it sucks. Women really are bad drivers. I thought that was just like a really bad, dudes are being assholes. When we gotta get it together.
I won't say so much bad as I would say aggressive. Women are very aggressive
What
when
is
they're
their aggressive? It's like they just be wandering off or in La La Land and forgetting that they're driving. Maybe that's what
Donatella,
it seems
let's
I
like.
don't
switch
know.
places. Donna, can you come in? Come inside, because I gotta
Yes.
go get in the car. Come, let's switch places. Come inside.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so it's that time. We're gonna keep the show going. I'm just gonna jump in the car and be on my way to pick up
Get
Sade.
both hair
She's getting her
done.
hair. Yeah, she's getting her hair done
Thank you,
today.
Bub.
So,
And don't forget, you do owe me some fufu and some egusi, all of that stuff.
am I gonna see you on Saturday night at the birthday party, or is that too
You're
heavy
right.
to eat?
You're right. You're right.
I
I'll
just
see you
hope
then.
everybody has been massaging their feet because we gotta dance that night. I think people forgot how to dance.
I can
I have
listen, but I will
instructed
bring my
all my
flats. You're gonna tell me
DJs.
twice. I do not mind being in flats.
I have instructed all my DJs. I want to see this place rocking. Okay,
Okay.
I want to dance. I want to dance. Hold on.
I need to eat also.
Okay,
What are
here.
you doing? I'm gonna take a really quick. I'll be right back. Why the hell is you not answering me again? Huh.
Oh no! See, this is why I can't deal with Bud's headphones. We're
They're
gonna mess
big.
up. No, it's gonna mess up the people's hair.
Your hair does look fabulous, by the way.
Thank
Definitely.
you, thank you. I went and got it touched up because I was gonna go on the Rachel Ray show, and he wants me to put these big old things on top of my hair. Bub.
I'm gonna give me like 2 seconds. I'm gonna do a quick wake up call, but I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. Okay. So I see we have 115 people watching the live. I'm so excited. You guys, I have to apologize for being outside trying to connect. We're on the Manhattan Bridge where the Wi-Fi is a little interesting to say the least. Um, but
Okay. I'm back.
now I'm back inside with the name Bub, which is not my.
Oh,
I don't care. I'm from the time zone when the Cosby Show was around, and so remember there was a little kid on there. One of the little boyfriends, his name was Bud, and that's the way they said it.
yeah, but I do know who you're talking about, Bud.
So every time I say Bub's name, I'm like, "Hey, Bub." Well, I feel like I didn't get to engage you because I couldn't hear anything. But I'm distracted now because I'm just thinking I'm gonna have to give my stylist another $50 to pep up my curls after
Oh no, it looks. You still look fabulous, though.
after these big old things press
You
out my
still look.
hair.
I gotta see. I gotta see her. because she laid it down proper.
Oh yeah, so we'll give Lizelle a shout out. Hair by Lizelle. She's been doing my hair since 2008, and then a lot of it has to do with the hair itself. Shout out to True Indian Hair. You guys better give me some discounts now after I
Nice.
said your name. Thanks.
I gotta plug my lash lady, Winkway.
Oh yeah, okay, wink, wait, what's up?
Winkway lashes.
Let's all wink at her. That's good. So I wasn't sure, but I think did you guys? Oh goodness, you know what? So let me
The
tell you
music.
something real funny. When I left where I was sitting, my car is right in front of the restaurant. So I sat in my car in order to connect with my phone, and I just realized I left my rum
Uh,
punch concoction in my coffee holder because I was holding the cup when I sat there. So I'm gonna have to ask Brianna to go out and get my drink, so
okay.
the cops won't drive past and be like, "Oh, this person is mad bold. They left their cocktail in the car by the holder." Oh, you're joining from your
Ah,
vehicle.
look at that. Look at
Oh, see?
I was just saying, Bub, that in my excitement to get out to my vehicle, I took my cocktail with me. So right now it's sitting in my coffee holder.
well, the beauty is that you are surrounded by a million of alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm sure Miss Bree can make you another one.
Well, no, I'm more concerned
I'm
that
sure.
oh yeah, Bree is awesome. But I was saying to her, you can get a DUI ticket or a driving with intoxication ticket or driving with alcohol, even if you're sitting in parked, as long as you're behind the wheel.
Donatella, you've known Amarachi for how long? You know
I know they're not messing with me.
no such type of ticket. You know
No,
that's
I
not gonna happen.
I know. Bub, I'm gonna
They,
bet.
they, they give us level.
No, they do. And they come in, and I just saw, one of those people in their uniform outside eating his lunch, and I started to videotape him, but we acknowledge people's privacy. He ate so fast, it was like cartoon. That's all I saw.
Well, I'm sure he's enjoying the food. And so let me talk a little bit about the pandemic, right? So ever since we've had the mandate, we've lost a big chunk of our business. So you get to
Yep,
recognize,
the
you
faces.
literally can count your customers every day, and I must say, it's quite evident,
Hmm.
or it's very obvious that our our folks love Amarachi food. They've
Oh,
been ordering
Yeah.
more. I don't know what. Like I said, maybe I notice them more now because there's less customers. But
hmm.
man, they in here chopping it up. We got some that love the bub rub wings.
Oh, I
The
Some
bub
had
rub
bub.
is always a hit with the bub rub, and I always
Wait,
tell you that I don't know what you do with your Alfredo. It's
Alex,
amazing.
we
Alex.
Africanize it. We Africanize it.
Yeah, I need that recipe.
No,
I do
Alex.
that. Hmm.
Alex, I have not been into the restaurant as often. I used to come every day. There is a new chef in the kitchen today that made bub rug wings. When I tell you they looked so good, I took them off of Bub's plate, took one off of Bub's plate just to taste it, and then all my pride begged for his plate with the four wings that was left. And
So it's even more
No
intense than they were
doubt about it.
before.
no. For me, right? I like the combination of the sweetness and the spice. But I've had wings sometimes when you could tell, it's sprinkled and you eat it and it's good.
Yeah.
These were coated in every nook
So
and
so so
cranny.
basically, she basically saying that the cook took their time in rubbing it down and
Oh, so he
Yeah,
glazing
made
them.
he made love to those wings, is what you're saying.
yeah, yeah.
He
And
slow grind.
no, no. So what I love about it even more, because I'm into the experience. It's a beautiful young blue haired lady that made the wings today,
Yes.
and
Okay.
I was my first time meeting her, and I was telling her, just fix me whatever you want, and she felt kind of under pressure, and because I was having network connectivity, I had to send my food back to the kitchen so it would stay warm.
Well,
But
yeah.
let me see what she made me was yam and goosey with mixed
Yeah,
meat.
that I have to taste that too, Bob.
Yes, yes, yes,
Uh,
yes, yes.
and I had there was another plate. I can't even remember what was on it. And I told Bree, who is one of my favorite mixologists, along with MJ.
Yeah,
I can come.
Bree got so good. I had to take her off the morning shift. I had so,
She
but
told me,
I sprinkle her in every unexpectedly every now and then,
yeah, I have not seen
just
Bree
to
in a
keep her
while.
fans from revolting completely.
Oh
No,
But
wow.
she got
Alex, you
so
can come
good.
in.
I had to put her into
I
the
don't,
main
have
stage.
I met her? I'm not
No,
sure.
you haven't met her. You haven't met her. I
Hmm.
don't think.
Alex, my whole staff is
Okay.
pretty much new. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, they're pretty much new. I'll be honest with you.
yeah, and
We
Okay.
it'll
just
hurt you. It'll hurt your feelings, Alex, when you come in, because you're like me, a long time person. You come
Uh-huh.
in and they look at you. Hi, can I help you? And I'm like, no, let me help you. I've been here. Hello.
look,
I'm never like that. I like
aren't
because
they
I
very
when they're new, I'm like, I don't want to be like one of those people and make. And I've worked in
no
food service. I know how that could be.
I'm an
So,
Aries. Sorry.
no
well, I'm a Leo.
these
They
people
find out the Leo
friendly.
eventually, but
They're
I know.
very friendly, very personable.
No, no,
You know, no
they're
egos.
sweethearts.
mhm.
They're
they're sweet, all
sweethearts.
sweethearts. You know,
No,
I know
and
you're
then
not
that's
gonna have
and,
anybody that's
and we
crazy with it here.
and we finally, Bub finally hired a piece of eye candy for the women when they come in,
Oh,
because
really?
it's
listen. Their store. We got a couple of guys that work here, and I'm telling you,
really.
they yeah, they listen,
Well, I
yeah.
can't count Wendell.
A whole nother
When,
show to talk about
Wendell,
what the women are doing with the guys of Amarachi. That's a whole nother show. You know,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm about to say we got to
yeah.
bug on Marachi and get some
Well,
footage.
take it easy
no,
on
no.
my
So
boys, man. Y'all take it easy on my boys. That's all I got to say.
no, for years I've come here, and it's all these tiny waisted, very curvaceous, pretty women, and I'm like, another one.
He
I don't want
always
to look
he
at y'all.
Bub keeps some bad ones on his side though. I tell you that
Well,
he keeps
brother,
some bad
and
ones on the board.
yeah, and I know brother Jonathan had a lot to do with that as well. Um,
Absolutely,
He do.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
when we
The
bought
big mouth.
Braz B there, I think he tried to take one of them with him.
I
You
don't
see?
doubt it. I don't doubt it.
Nah, I
Um,
mean, listen. People come out to spend their good. It's all entertainment, so
well,
you
Yeah.
gotta.
and it
It's
would
all part of the process. You make a good drink, you look good. It makes it taste better.
Hmm.
right. But you know what? One of the things that I loved about this, because there's so many, the the people who work here and affiliated with the ownership are so diverse. We've got Sam, who was a Q Psi Phi, is a Q Psi Phi, brother Jonathan, who's the Kappa, and I feel like you and Emmanuel brought in like the Nigerianness of the people who came in, as well as your HB. What is it? HBSU.
And then they don't love me. They
Those
don't
people.
come here.
No, but for me
I'm
though,
joking.
I,
I'm joking.
yeah, but for me, I'm saying having all the women worked here was excellent, because the men came because they're men ownership and men management.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
so I always knew I could come to Amarachi. I was gonna get some free appetizers, some free cocktails, because and it's the demographic that you have, these collegiate entrepreneurs, entertainment, and Alex, I know you've seen them. Pure 6 footers in the building.
I
Love it,
know
love it.
that's one thing. Again, there's no ladies, there's no shorties on that staff at all, and that's kind of scarce now. I feel like men are getting shorter and shorter,
Oh,
but
they are.
he's finding the vines. That's where
Well,
they are. They're at 189 Bridge Street in Brooklyn.
yeah, yeah,
So
and I'm talking about the guests that come
Listen,
in.
y'all better stop gassing these people up because they're gonna be coming. But I thought you had men here. Okay, I thought you.
Nah, just make sure, ladies, when you
They're gonna
come.
be like, wait a minute. Well, listen, it's only two. It's only
Well,
three. I mean,
I'm not talking about the
oh,
staff. Don't come in here messing with the staff. Please don't do that. They're
okay,
too busy.
okay.
I was talking
Thank you.
about the staff. I'm
Fine.
sorry.
No,
Thank
no, no,
you.
no,
Exactly. Thank you.
All right.
Where they at? Where they at? I thought y'all said
no, no,
y'all
no,
here.
no,
What's good?
no.
What's good?
I'm talking about the patrons. I remember a time when I used to beg Brother Jonathan to put a webcam in the restaurant so you could stream, because
Lord
there's
have mercy.
so many good looking people in here, and I'm like, Come on, Jonathan. This place will be packed all the time. No, no, no,
Speed
no.
dating coming soon to Amarachi. Speed
Oh,
That
dating,
I,
COVID
I,
day
friendly.
will
we've
come.
been talking about
Yes,
that
that day
forever.
will come. But they got to pay us some money for it. I think a Amarachi reality show would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta get that in motion somehow, some way.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
definitely has to happen because you get a lot of people don't realize on your day to day, you just get a lot of foot traffic from people that are just trying to find some place in the cut.
And really
Um,
good people, really quality
mhm.
people, really interesting people.
Amarachi is low
Like
key a
this
great
week.
networking spot too.
Look,
Bub,
this week
Bub.
a couple.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I needed you to get rid of that phone
No,
out of the
I'm
video,
calling my
please.
daughter. I'm calling my daughter and telling her I'm here.
But let's clarify. You are
She's
sitting
bub
still. You
now.
are not driving.
I'm not driving. I'm sitting still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's still.
Okay.
He's still.
I just want that in
I'm
the
outside. I'm
video.
outside her school. I'm trying to call, but she's not, she doesn't recognize this phone number, so I don't know. But yeah, so I had a couple. The lady is Nigerian, Yoruba lady, and she married a white guy, and the guy was speaking Yoruba to me, and it totally freaked me out. I was like, wow, this is so. I was like, we gotta get y'all on the show. This is so fascinating. Cause I didn't know. I thought they were like co-workers at first, and it was like, no, that's my husband. I was like, what? And then he just starts talking up in Yoruba. I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. Like
He's
this
like
is the
he's
way.
letting you know he's not passing through.
No,
He's a real
and
thing.
look, and he's a critique of food, and he's like, she's like, listen, if he don't approve the food, the food, and my man knows the food. Of course, he
Oh,
was loving my food. He said mine's the best thing
Let's
he's
get
had.
that out there. Let's
Just
get
get that out the way. But I mean, he knows his and listen and check this. He's never been to Nigeria.
oh no!
so
Wow.
so so
He
you're
learned
lining him
everything
up
from YouTube. Learned everything from YouTube.
and you're lining him up for
Yeah,
2022.
gotta learn them out, line them up.
Oh yeah, they're going that. Listen, we're taking the whole world to Africa.
I already put
Starting
some
this year.
feelers out. They
I'm
ready.
telling you, taking the whole world. Just why? Because they're gonna be with us. That's the whole point. That's the fun of the trip. That's the crux of the trip. You're going with
Hmm.
people that you know and that are fun. So you're gonna have a great time. We're not gonna, you're gonna be with us. So that's the whole beauty of it. It's not some trip you're just going with a bunch of, you know,
Just random people, and you're gonna sit in a hotel and then just do regular
You're
stuff. You're
going
gonna.
with us, and we're going with you, and we're hanging out. We're having fun. Same vibe, same energy. Same. Similar food. Probably even tastes better back home. So all of that, all in one, is gonna be a really great time.
I
So
did
yes,
want to,
guys. Yeah, go ahead.
if I may, I have a quick plug because the date is to be announced, but I would like it if everybody could follow Crime in the letter N, Crab Legs. That is a podcast that I'll be hosting with my co-host Winter. It's a true crime podcast and a mukbang. So we'll
And
be
a
When is
eating
that
crab
coming
what
out?
legs.
was what was the
Huh?
last thing you said? A crime
Oh,
podcast and a what?
mukbang.
What is that?
You're eating the food online, like just eating.
Okay, okay.
So
Oh,
that's the way the crab legs come in.
Donatella is a master of that.
Uh,
Okay.
Eating.
you gotta have the microphone so that they can hear the sounds and all the
Oh,
the
the mug,
chewing.
all of
Yeah,
that,
really
right?
get into it.
That's what's up. That's what's
But
up.
while discussing criminal cases,
Coming up.
specifically cases that have to do with us, Black people and people of color.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Not
You know
necessarily
what?
always national cases, but some
I,
of
I
them
have
that.
I have a good case that I want to give you that you might want to feature of a local Brooklyn cold case where they
Oh,
know who
nice.
the person is. They have the
Really?
picture. The reward is up to $15,000.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I'm surprised he has not been caught. And I actually told her I'm gonna start helping her um, get more coverage for the case. Well, I'll send it to
Definitely would
you.
love to.
Yeah, her
Would
son,
love, love, love
I think
to.
it's the young Haitian boy was home from college and was
Uh-huh.
murdered by mistaken identity on his
It
college
doesn't
break,
sound vaguely familiar. How long ago was this?
like 3 years.
Yeah, it
His name
doesn't
is
sound
his
like
name
it.
his name is Justin.
Was it Canarsie or something like
Uh,
that?
might be. Unfortunately, there's so many of us that get killed in Canarsie and East
My
Lake.
brother, my little brother, who I will also be featuring his case and my cousin. So that's
Oh,
like part of the reason why too. There's a lot of things that get kind of lost if they
Hmm.
even make a bleep. You know, that
Well,
lady that went
because
missing
we
grabbed
don't
the
get the
national,
cover.
the world. She grabbed the
Well,
world's attention.
that's
But then,
because she's non-black.
yeah. Meanwhile, there was a black woman. She was missing at Fort Hood around the same time, and thankfully she's been found. But whether she was found dead or alive, you wouldn't have known because she barely got any mention at all.
Yeah,
Mm, mm,
yeah,
mm.
and that's what we need: the TV ones and the BETs and these influencers who are. I feel like, and this is a whole nother topic,
Hmm.
but if you're on social media, and for my brand, I don't take popular videos and just post them for the sake of likes and views, but our prominent Sean King and the real Pete Rock and all
That
those
is a
people,
different show. You know how I
they
feel about Mr.
they
White King.
they are reposting the same videos. Tyrese, it's the same video reposted like 10 different times, right? Which is why they go viral. But I feel like if they did different videos, you got 10 huge platforms, all 10 huge platforms, DL Hughley, they're all
But you know what?
showcasing the same video.
Because they, at the same time too, they're picking and choosing what content because they get submissions from everywhere. They
I
get a
don't think
lot.
that I don't think they're picking and choosing. I'm thinking they're just easily reposting whatever their colleague is posting because they know for the most part it's already been invented.
Mm,
I mean, I doing a
that's one aspect, but there are people they actively just will not like. One, I guess it's not humanly possible to respond to every request you get, but there are people that they just specifically they won't
I think it's
reshare or repost.
it's also monetary. I don't think they're doing
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
this
monetary
for
too. They have to monetize, and it's about fanfare. I mean, even anytime that Al Sharpton takes something on, if he could, there's no money in it for him, he's not doing it. And it
Yeah.
doesn't matter how much justice is involved. If he can't get some kind of percentage, it's not going to happen.
yeah, and
You know.
Not for
I
nothing,
get it.
guys. It's really. That's what I think. That's kind of why we're doing this too. We can't leave it to others to tell our story. We have to grow
We
our
have to.
media,
Mhm.
and we have to become. I envision you guys in both in media. I work with you all both because I look up to how you guys are so good with media and are able to project your ideas and thoughts, and that's really where we need to be building. Let's continue to build our base and build our platform so that we have our shows, and we're talking about this thing because we've seen the media completely freeze out a story if they
Mhm.
don't want to talk about it.
If they don't want to
And they're
talk about,
all in
yep,
cahoots. They're all in
full stop.
cahoots. Everyone will they will follow the narrative and not and will completely ignore a story if they're told to ignore a story. Look, I know for a fact
That's true.
people.
I
I've
know
heard
for a fact too.
that were
There are.
in me that said we are not allowed to cover this topic right now because
Mhm.
they don't want it to look bad. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought you're supposed to report the news, whether you like it. It's not for
Yeah,
y'all
Yeah,
to
you're not supposed to be
that's the
biased,
old
but
days.
they've
media
taken it
is very biased.
completely, completely.
Um,
So we can't even trust them to
but
tell us the news. Yes, babe.
did you notice that I didn't see anyone covering the 1 year anniversary of the SARS and Toll massacre in Nigeria? They had a march yesterday, and I reached out to the same people that we had before, Omobanki,
Yeah, yeah,
and because they did have more shootings yesterday, as a matter of fact.
yeah. I saw that.
A lot of people almost said he just didn't want to share any of the video content for fear that what they did was they retaliated people that they could recognize in the videos from last year. The um the military or whatever powers that be started going after those individuals, and I do believe I'd like to find out where what was her name, the DJ who escaped to Canada, DJ Switch, how
Yeah.
she's doing at this point.
And
But
Mhm.
unfortunately, once again, like you said, the coverage is bad. Even the news, even independent news does not follow, contacting, trying to contact these people.
Yeah.
Because they're
They
trying to be mainstream, and so they're trying to follow the trend
they
too.
don't want
It's a horrible
exactly. They
cycle.
don't want to get
They don't
shut.
they don't want
Everybody's
they don't
waiting
want the
for that
smoke.
one big deal.
Yeah,
They're
they don't
like,
want
oh,
the smoke.
we want to get picked up by that
If
big
I'm
guy.
if I'm nowhere now, what's the worst you're gonna do to me? Put me back at nowhere? I'm already here, so I might as well
They
report
don't
it.
think that. They don't think like that. They're like, listen, I'm trying to get signed by this company, so let me not put nothing out there that ruins my chances. And we're not gonna get anywhere. We're not gonna get anywhere. Doing this, simply look at Kyrie. Whether you agree with him or not, for the simple fact that he has to go on Instagram, he can't. He doesn't feel comfortable to sit down and have an interview where he can just talk. And whether he's presented that opportunity or
He's
he's
afraid
asked
of the
for it,
edit, probably.
he got to go on Instagram. Like he should have a network that is willing to sit down with him and have
So
an intelligent conversation about his stance. Nope.
without any bias and just allow
Without
him
any
that
bias.
outlet.
Just let the man talk. Let the man talk. Nope. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody's gonna touch it. You gotta go on
But see,
Instagram.
the flip side to that is who is he willing to sit down with too? Because okay, if they don't want to talk to you, somebody out there wants to hear you. So it kind of goes both ways because then you're like, okay, well, this person's not going to reach that many people, but I'm pretty sure that little person would if somebody knew that they were going to be interviewing you. It only takes one.
You're right, and us little guys too. We have to be more aggressive and going after these big guys. I know we have it. We need to make calls and see if we can get these. Why not? Who knows? Maybe we could have had Kyrie on the show. We should do it. We should try. We because we think we're so small, we think they won't pay attention. But you never know. That might be what launches
The
us.
past year, I
And
can tell you, I definitely learned that you are absolutely right because the worst that somebody could say is no and you move on.
no, and
But
that's what
I
we
took
are
shots
anyway.
in the dark last year and reached out to people just by Instagram DM and got responses that I wasn't
Yeah,
even thinking I would get. So I think it's definitely worth it because you never know. There's a lot. I think even with the pandemic, it's also kind of even the playing field a lot more. It's humbled a lot of people a little bit more. So maybe like 2018, 2019, they wouldn't have as much time to look in their DM, but you say the
right.
right thing or whatever, and you don't really know what these people are going through and behind the scenes, they will reach out to you. People are looking for the next big thing or at least to be a part of something. So I definitely think it is worth a shot, especially if you know how to speak and present correctly.
Right, right,
You have a
right.
shot.
I think yes. We need we will get
Where's
a
Sade? I'm beginning
physical.
to be worried about
She's
her.
not. She's not. She's in school, but she just not responding to my call. So, when we get off, I'll call her. She maybe listen.
What?
They're
I
Isn't
weird.
there
told
going to be
I
four of
told
us?
They
Sade
really like school.
Where's
They
the other co-host?
she's on a flight on her way
she's
to
Uh,
she's
New
actually on her way here.
oh, it's here, right? Yeah, yeah,
York.
yeah.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
on her way to New York. Yeah, so
Yeah,
so she'll be here. They'll be partying with us tomorrow and hopefully Saturday when we all get together again. But
Okay.
anyhow, guys, it's been a great show. Thank you all.
yes,
Thank
I
you,
need to
Alex,
eat my
for
food.
coming on. Thank you, Donatella, for getting back
Thank
in the
you. It was
And more
fun. We gotta
importantly,
do this again.
for
and
flattening the people's hair.
we'll see everybody on Saturday. All right.
Yes.
Yes.